And so she was, in essence, in the same situation that the little girl was in, because she had been bleeding out for 12 years. And the text tells us that she must have been well off because she had good health care. Oh, you're not praying with me. Because she went to a lot of doctors. So she had to have some sort of health care. But y'all know how health care is. Yeah, when you've extended your time in the hospital, I don't care how good a health care you got, you get out of here. Come on, church. When you ain't met your deductible, y'all ain't praying with me. The Bible says that she spent everything that she had. And she went to every doctor in town trying to find a healing for her problem. But the Bible says that nobody could help her. Are y'all praying with the church? You gotta see something here. You gotta look at her position, which indicated her disposition. I'm almost done. Her position was, the Bible says that she came from behind Jesus. She didn't want Jesus to see her. Lord have mercy. And her disposition was that she was below because she was on the ground. Lord have mercy. Watch this, church. Her position is that she crawled through the crowd. Yeah. She had to get by dirt. She had to go through dirt to get to Jesus. She had to pass by people stomping on her to get to Jesus. She had to pass by people that was disrespecting her to get to Jesus. I wish I had a prayer church. Yeah, she had to go through some stuff that was embarrassing to get to Jesus. But the text says that she made her way. She crawled through the dirt, crawled past other people stomping on her. Can I talk to somebody over here? Somebody crawled through some dirt to get to Jesus. Oh, y'all ain't praying with me. Somebody went through some dirty situations to get to Jesus. But you told the Lord, I don't care how dirty it is, I don't care how shameful it is, I don't care how disgusting things I've done, I'm going to get to Jesus. Who have been through some disgusting things to get to the Lord? But when you press your way, watch the church. It wasn't unusual for the first bleed. But when she kept on, that's when the problems were. Some things we go through in life are not unusual for the first time. But when you keep going through the same thing, oh Lord have mercy, over and over and over again, when there's no relief in sight, when you try your best to find a way out, the Bible says that it gives a description of her illness, the discomfort of her illness, the duration of her illness, but most of all is the discrimination in her illness. Let me work for 1 second and I'm going to sit in my seat. First of all, she was a woman. That's number one. And in the culture, women had a place that didn't allow them to be seen in certain situations. Not only that, but her disease caused her to be considered unclean. And so her purpose is that she was supposed to stay in quarantine where nobody could be around her. So you got to see something. She was discriminated against because of her problem. Lord have mercy. She was talked about because of her situation. Yet no one really liked her because she had a problem. And because she had a problem, she said, Lord have mercy, in her epiphany, it says here, yet Mark tells us that she had an epiphany, and in her epiphany, Matthew says, for she said within herself, if I could just touch the hem of his garment. That's what the text said. Matthew tells us that she had a meeting with herself. Lord have mercy. Matthew says she looked in the mirror and said, I'm tired of struggling. Matthew says she had an epiphany. She came to a realization within herself that I got a problem. See, you know what our problem is? We don't want to admit to ourselves that we got problems. We don't want to look in the mirror and say, I'm messed up. Yeah, y'all ain't pushing y'all good church folk. Y'all ain't got these problems. But I love that mercy. I struggled every day. Y'all ain't with me that I struggle to keep my tongue from not saying the wrong thing. I had a witness up in here. Yeah, we struggle every day. She came to an epiphany. The realization that she said, I need some help. Where y'all at? Where the sick people up in here who are denying that you need help? And you're walking around sick spiritually. You're walking around angry. You're walking around bitter. You're walking around depressed. You're walking around oppressed. You're walking around hateful. Y'all ain't praying with it. You're walking around with a frown on your face. And you can't come to the realization to say, God, I need some help. She had me. Matthew said, she said to herself, Lord, have mercy. Y'all hear me? Somebody can say to yourself, self, get it together. Yeah, somebody can come to the realization with yourself that you need help. Let me hurry up. And the Bible tells us, church, that she saw Jesus because her situation had gotten worse. Her diagnosis is that she was going to die. Her forecast dealt with the fact that if she kept bleeding, she would die. Foreknowledge says that her destiny was death. Her disease said that she was anemic. But the reality is that in the spite, in the light of disease, in the light of sickness, in the light of dying, the Bible says that this lady got a deliverance. She said within herself, if I can just crawl through this ground,